I hated dental hygiene school. Yes, you heard correctly. I hated dental hygiene school. So if you want to know why, then keep watching. So I am making this video to give my honest opinions about dental hygiene school. And it's not to deter you from joining the program, or if you have any thoughts, desires to become a hygienist. I just want to tell you guys my honest opinions about my dental hygiene experience, and completely honest, candid, and open about my experience. So for starters, if you consider yourself an introvert, you will not make it. Oh no, I'm just kidding. But I'm kind of serious in a way. If you're an introvert, you will you will feel like a you'll feel like an outsider throughout the program. Um, I don't know. Maybe it's for me. I felt like an outsider. I am introverted. I like to do everything by myself. If I do not feel like our energies match well, or if like I don't know, if I don't get like a good vibe, or if I'm not comfortable around you, then I won't be around you. Like I will not open up myself to, you know, I will not open up myself to create a friendship with you, if that makes sense. I prefer to keep to myself. I do not like any drama, and that's the way I liked it in dental hygiene school. I know I rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, including some of my teachers, because of how to myself I was. I just felt like it just helped me overall. Like I had so much stuff. I had a lot of things I was going through outside of school, and I just wanted to focus on myself. We were around each other 24/7. Imagine being with 18 plus women all day, every day, 5 days out the week. It gets draining, it gets tiring. We're constantly doing group work. We're constantly having to like communicate outside of class. Like it was getting to be too much for me. So I just like to, exclude myself from the group, and recharge my social battery, if that makes sense. And a lot of people took that as I didn't like them or something was wrong, when it really wasn't. It was just me needing my space. I'm allowed to take my space, and some people didn't like that. Even my teacher, like one of my teachers, she assumed that I was kind of like standoffish because of how quiet I was. And she even goes to ask me like, why are you so shy? Like, are you normally like this? And I'm just like, ma'am, this is me. Like, I don't have nothing to say to you. Like, I feel like we don't mesh well, and our energies don't match. Like, I didn't have a good feeling about her, and I just didn't want to communicate with her. Like, I listen to my gut probably like 75% of the time, and if I don't want to talk to you, then I don't want to talk to you. So that's one of the reasons why I don't like dental hygiene school. It's because I was introverted, I was to myself, and people didn't like that. And I even found myself trying to like get out of my comfort zone and pushing myself to hang out with the girls in my class, and even when I didn't feel like it. 99.9% of the time I did not feel like hanging out with my classmates, because I felt like some of them weren't genuine people. When you're to yourself, You watch and observe people, and I've seen a lot of things from my classmates that I didn't like. I didn't like how some of them treated each other. I didn't like how some of them talked to each other. So it was hard for me to put all of that aside and to just hang out with them to please them. And so I didn't hang out with them all the time. It was a lot of times I said no. So enough about that. That was the main reason why I didn't like dental hygiene school, because I'm an introvert. I don't like to hang out with people I don't feel comfortable. Let me stop, because I could ramble all day about that. Another thing I didn't like about dental hygiene school was the frequent testing. All of those exams. Why do we have so many exams in a week? It got to the point where we had about like 6 exams in a week. Exams and quizzes. And it was just like, this is getting a bit excessive. Like, I felt like I was drowning and I couldn't come up for air majority of the time. It got a little bit better towards the end. Towards the end, we were like bombarded with like projects and papers and a bunch of discussion boards. That busy work, I hated that busy work. It was just like we were at the end, we were crawling our way towards the end, gasping for that air, and they just throw all of this filler material just to say, hey, we're gonna keep you guys busy. You're not gonna take a break. You're not gonna have a social life. I don't care how close you are to the end of the finish line. We're still going to give you papers. We're still going to make you do group rotations and site visits. Like, even up until the last day, we had something. We had a group research project we had to present the very last day. And I was just like, are you serious right now? We couldn't even have the last couple days to ourselves. And then a lot of us were studying for boards. Yeah, a lot of us were studying for boards. And I know I started studying for boards in like December. So as soon as we had our winter break, I was studying for boards. Another thing I didn't like was like the inconsistencies between the different professors. Like, all of our professors had different ways of teaching certain things, or different ways of like using their instruments, and even like they had different ways of grading their competencies. And it was just like, but she didn't grade us that way. Or when we were practicing, that's not the way she showed us. It was just too much. It was too much, and we were all on eggshells. It got to the point where we were all learning the different ways of each professor. So we had one specific professor, we would switch up and like do it the way she liked it. Or if another professor had us, we would switch up and do it the way she liked. And it was draining. It was exhausting. Like, it was like they were not on the same page about a lot of things. And yes, it was difficult. Also, I barely made it through dental hygiene school. It was rough. It was a rough 2 years. It was insane. And I know one of my semesters I got an incomplete because I will never forget. I would never forget which injection it was. It was the mental block injection. And so I had a patient for the injection, and I ended up failing. So the first time I failed, it was because I didn't verbalize aspirate, even though I aspirated. Okay, I aspirated. Okay. And then the second time, I was so worked up that I forgot to recap the needle. Like, I did everything perfectly. Like, I even went through the steps multiple times. And how did I forget to recap the doggone needle? Your guess is as good as mine. I forgot to recap the needle. And so, like, my patient was sitting in that chair, and so I tried my hardest not to like break down as I was listening to her give me that grade on the side. So I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna go back in the operatory and start the cleaning, cut on the Cavitron. No. I looked at my teacher, my other teacher, because she was sitting to my left, and I looked at her and I just broke down. She was like, Mia? She was like, Mia, don't you? And I was just like, you know what? And then my patient is numb in the chair. She's like, what's going on? What's going on? She was freaking out. She never came back because my teacher traumatized her with the PSA, the posterior alveolar injection block. Like, she did not come back. She didn't answer my phone calls. She did not answer that phone. And I was just like, dang. And I only did one quadrant, and she needed a deep cleaning. Like, it was so bad. Like, her teeth were perfect. It was they were beautiful. But under her gums, they needed to be clean. I couldn't even probe. They needed to be clean. But yeah, so it was that semester. If I go back and look, I could probably put like which semester it was. I feel like it was summer term. Yeah, I think it was summer term that I was struggling. That was like the worst semester for me. Summer term was the worst. And if anybody knows or have been to college before, everyone knows not to take a full course load during the summer, because everything happens so fast, and the number of days are shorter as opposed to like fall and spring. And so like summer term was on steroids times 10 for me, and we were taking a full course load. So it was just really insane for me. Like, and it was the worst semester for me emotionally, because of the things that was going on in my personal life. And so like it got to the point where I was just letting myself fail, and I was slowly giving up. And my teacher, she had to verbally smack me in my face and tell me to stand up. My teacher was like, girl, what the heck is wrong with you? Like, you finna be making money after this, and you just gonna let yourself fail? What happens if you fail? Like, what are you gonna be doing after you fail dental hygiene school? Nothing. So that really like kicked everything into high gear, and I was like, you know what, you right. Cause what the heck I'm gonna be doing after I fail dental hygiene school? Not a god doggone thing. Oh my goodness. But yeah, summer term was like the worst for me. Like, I don't want to say I hated it, but y'all, I hated it so bad. I hated it so bad. And I want to say spring 2023 was my favorite term, because we was getting up on out of there. And also, for me, in my opinion, dental hygiene school felt like high school. Even though I wasn't in the mix of the drama, it was drama between them girls. It was insane. Like, somebody was cheating, and then all the girls' friend with a girl that was cheating. All their friends like rallied up and snitched on her. And I found out through grapevine, and I'm just like, what? And they was like, Mia, you didn't know she was like in front of you cheating? I said, I ain't know that. I don't be in nobody's business. That is not my business. And I felt so bad for her, because still to this day she is hanging out with them girls, and I don't even know if she knows they snitched on her. But all the teachers know she a cheater. And then there was like, it was just messy. It was messy. Them girls was messy. Like, they would talk so bad about each other, and then they would hang out with each other. And I'm just like, couldn't be me. Can't be me. But yeah, it was a lot of going behind each other's backs. It got to the point where one of the teachers was snitching about like the surveys we had to do. Like they were like anonymous surveys. Well, we still had to turn them in under our names, but like they were kept anonymous amongst the teachers, if that makes sense. Like the teacher won't go back and tell the student what exactly the other student told about you in the surveys. Well, one of the teachers did, and it got messy. But yeah, but y'all, honestly, this was kind of like a rant video about my experience from dental hygiene school. So again, this was not to deter you from being a hygienist or going to dental hygiene school. It's just my experience and how I felt throughout the program. I felt like I was gonna die. Like, it was I don't even want to say that, but yeah, it was rough. I had a rough 2 years. The first semester was the roughest. Like, it felt like initiation type stuff. But yeah, but that is all for this video. I hope this video was somewhat helpful in giving you guys an insight on what to expect, or just to mentally prepare yourself for what is to come. So I hope you guys are still interested in becoming a hygienist. It's an amazing career field to get into. It's not much of like a ladder you can, I don't even know if that makes sense. It's not much you can branch off from hygiene. Like you're stuck for life as a hygienist. But it's great. I'm enjoying it so far. I've been a hygienist for about almost 5 months now, and I can't complain. Like, the money is great. I get to spend time with my kid, and I feel like I have a work-life balance. So yeah, again, thank you for watching. Please leave me a comment, subscribe, whatever you guys want. Leave me some questions, whatever, what have you. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video, maybe a vlog. Check out those. And yeah, bye.